about to go downtown.
Downtown, hey!
Downtown. You about to go downtown.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night, and welcome to another week's episode of Downtown Podcast, Downtown World. Don't waste no time with negativity. And I'm really happy to have this young, Black, strong, powerful woman with us today. With so much happening in the world, it's really great to have these like positive, what is the word I'm looking for? Like positive, just reinforcements that it's going to be all right. So today we have none other than Joy Black, and she is mostly known for being a violinist of just like, I know people usually would be like, oh, do strings or whatever, but like, I feel like you could play anything. And welcome, Queen. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I am doing excellent. I'm loving the vibes you're giving right now. Editing comes out in black and white, but like just so that people know, you're giving a red lip right now and you're working this green right now, okay? And like the curls are just everything. So looking amazing, Joy. How is everything? Like pandemic, so much is happening. The world is kind of reopening back up, but it's not the same. Like, just how are you doing?
Good. Well, during the pandemic, everything shut down. There was no gigs, no events, but I did have a music video shoot with one of the biggest artists that I was featured in. It was Latto's Youngest and Richest music video. I did that with her, and that really took off my career. And when since Atlanta is opening up again, I would say that I'm getting a lot of like requests for doing events and stuff. So everything is coming back up, and it's kind of like overwhelming. I gotta, get back with people and things like that. Like, during the lockdown, it's like nothing. And then now it's like, boom.
No, seriously. So like Latto, shout outs to her. There's nothing to play with. And just how did that come about? Because I find like sometimes when we least expect it, we're like, is this really happening right now?
Yeah.
Is this email real? Like, how did that come about?
Yeah, they actually found me on Instagram. They said they were looking for a Black violinist with an afro, and they found me. I was like, oh yeah, I look like that. I fit that description. So we just did it after then. Like, this is the music, and this is where we're gonna be, and everything turned out great from there.
So we scale it back like all the way, Joy. What really got you into music and instruments specifically, as opposed to, another route that people would usually take in the entertainment or music route? What made you stick with instruments? Was it like an early part of your childhood?
Well, I did start out in chorus, but I would get bullied in chorus because I'll get picked to do the solos, and the other girls wouldn't like it. So I was like, oh, maybe I can't sing or whatever. So, and I was just tired of the hate. So I quit chorus, and then later on in middle school I got into piano lessons, and I really liked the piano, and the teacher was mean, so then I just quit from there. And then in up to my 8th grade year of school, I was going through a lot of bullying and things like that. I was, always that girl to be. I was always that girl to be like in the lunchroom by herself and things like that. I never been to any parties or anything, like barely had any friends or anything like that. But
what
then
when I was bullying you for, like, kids are so mean. Like, what were they bullying you about, Joy? You're gorgeous. I see a beautiful, like, Black woman in front of me. What were you getting bullied about?
Well, for the most part, just being skinny. I always been like a size 0, size 1.
Girl,
growing
that's
up,
what I'm trying to get.
And like people were like, oh, being thick is an accomplishment, and it's like,
Grass is always greener.
Yes. So I used to just eat a lot of unhealthy foods and things like that, and I have a very fast metabolism, so I can gain weight through like working out, but like eating, it doesn't really work out that way. But and I was actually living in, I've been to so many different schools. So I've been to one elementary school, about 4 middle schools, and 2 high schools. So every single one of them was the same. But for the most part, when I was mostly growing up in like a white Mexican kind of predominantly area.
Yeah.
And I really didn't experience much bullying there. But then when I went to like, like the mostly Black areas, I couldn't really, there was like a cultural kind of like, I didn't really understand like the lingos and things like that. I didn't know what Nikes were. I didn't know like the Atlanta slang and like the accent. I used to be like, what? You said what? I don't understand what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And so there would be like a kind of like, I couldn't really communicate with people like that. I had to learn what certain words meant. I couldn't listen to rap music, growing up. So I couldn't relate on like a musical kind of scale, with that. So it was kind of like, I was just different anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and with that, I just, I actually had a dream in 8th grade of me playing the violin. And the dream felt so real that like in 9th grade, my freshman year of high school, I just started orchestra classes. And then my teacher, he gave me my first violin, and then like holding it, just felt
Is this the one that you're holding right now?
Oh no, this is a different kind of violin. Okay. But
I was like, is this the first one you got in grade 8? Like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
No, the first one I actually held was the school provided it.
Okay.
So so when I first held it, it was meant to be kind of a thing. Like I just knew, like, yes. And then when I first played it, it didn't sound too good, but still, I still worked on it and still kept practicing, and I really loved playing the violin. And actually, like I was the kind of girl that like would not want to go to school. I wanted to pretend to be sick and just not be at school. But when I started the orchestra classes, I would just go to school, go through all of my classes just to go to orchestra class at the end of the day. It'll be my last final period of class, the orchestra. And that'll just keep me going through school the whole way. Yeah. And with that, and when I started getting better, a lot of kids would pick on me for like my clothes and things like that. Like I'm not dressing how how they would like me to dress, like with the name brands and like just being fashionable in general. Yeah. My parents, they couldn't get me, new clothes every single month, every single, a fresh, look every single time that others would like me to have. Yeah. But I actually had the idea to start street performing in downtown Decatur Square. And
in high school?
Yeah. And that's how I started making money with the violin. And people will come up to me and be like, hey, you should be playing at these big halls. You should be playing in, for these major events and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just trying to make money to, for school outfits. I'm not trying to hear all that, But over time, I did build my confidence to go ahead and, strive to be a solo violinist. And I actually got, money to get makeup and clothes and all that kind of stuff. And then it had like the opposite reaction that I actually wanted to get from others. Like girls would be jealous of me of having new clothes all the time.
So they were mad at you when you didn't fit in. And then when you did fit in, they were even more mad. You'd never be satisfied.
And that's how I learned to like, just do this just for me, because I can't please everyone. I can just do this for myself. I know this is what I love. I don't know where I'm going, but I know right now that this is meant to be, It
seems like it became like your best friend early, your way to like communicate just like how you were honestly feeling about life, and like always being like moved around and stuff. At least you knew your instrument was one thing that like stayed consistent for the most part in your life,
Mm-hmm. And then when I did go through like bullying, like really, really bad bullying and stuff, going back home, I really couldn't focus on doing my homework, anything like that. I would just play my violin. I didn't do any drugs or anything like that, or any self-harm. I just put all the energy towards my violin.
Wow.
So yeah, that was a major lifesaver,
Wow. Mic drop. That's such a beautiful story. And I shouldn't say beautiful story, but like it's just powerful. And I cannot wait to share this with all the young girls in my life, because you know, I remember taking band in school. First instrument, I don't really count the recorder. It was there. First instrument was trombone, then went into tenor sax. But looking at Joy Black today, I'm like, wow, what if instead of like falling into, you know, different avenues, you follow your dreams? And man, you learned that hustle from early. You're like, yo, I'm gonna get these coins. My talent's gonna take me to where it needs to go. And that's like such a beautiful attribute to have, and to know yourself from so young is such a beautiful, you get to, I feel like you get to start to enjoy your life experience more like quick, or
right,
because you know this is what it is for me. Wow.
exactly.
Beautiful. So now when it comes to transcending and this full like Joy Black that we're seeing in front of us today, the one that is with Latto, and you're at this point where you are able to do it on a professional scale, like how did that jump happen for you?
Well, it was very slow, but kind of like fast at the same time. Because when I first graduated high school, well, during that time, I really didn't know, I didn't want to go to college because, you know, I didn't want to go through any bullying. I just wanted to just do, you know, this is what I want to do. Like, you know, I didn't want to do anything else. I didn't want to be a doctor, to be anything like that. I just wanted to just be a violinist. Well, let's see.
Were your parents accepting of that?
Yeah, completely.
That's dope.
Yeah, my mom, she'll actually, with like going to networking events, I'll have a hard time, you know, going up to people and talking to people, because I'll have that mindset of in school, like, oh, nobody wants to talk to me, or being in like the cafeteria in school, like just sitting by myself, like nobody wants to talk to me or anything like that. I'll have like a little bullying PTSD from that. And my mom, she would just go up to people and like, hey, this is my daughter, Joy Black. She's a violinist, blah, 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 blah.
Love it.
And then people like, wow, people would be like, wow, they want to actually work with me. And I'm like, wow, do you want to work with me? Me? And I had to get used to that, like the opposite polarity, you know, and that took a lot of adjusting to, you know, like hearing like all the good compliments and stuff. And like in school, I really didn't hear anything at all. People rarely say anything to me. If it's anything they say, it'll be very negative. So I had to get used to it. And I really probably didn't believe when people would tell me, you know, yeah, the good things, but you know, that's how it happened. But I actually started posting videos on social media, me doing covers and things like that. And that actually helped build my following. And yeah.
I feel like I like found you on Instagram before like a long time ago. Like through one of those viral videos. And like I'm just like full circle, you know what I mean? And it's just really great. As I said, like no cap in my rap. It's really great to just see someone in your element just doing what you do and representing as beautifully as you are. Right? And the power of social media, like if so many people had that before. So you started posting content, great content at that.
Thank you.
Putting that together, and people picked that up, picked you up, and basically they caught up to what you already knew.
Right. And then when I was growing up, I didn't see, when I was practicing and learning the violin, I look up videos of violinists, and I would never see any Black violins, especially, you know, with afro or anything like that. So I just, you know, kept that image of what I wanted to see, you know, and I would, and to this day, you know, pre-pandemic, I would go to schools and play at schools and share my story to like little girl groups at schools that, you know, help build their confidence and things like that, different charities and things like that. Yeah.
I love it. So when it comes to moving forward in your career, because you've also done a lot of great things, but as you know, it's never stopping. It's always a continuum of just greatness, right? And it seems like that's the path that you're on. So what are the plans moving forward for you, Joy? Like, what are you looking forward to? What is in the vision plan? Like short term, long term? What is it looking like for you?
Short term, I want to start planning my own events, doing things that, you know, I want to do. Like, I feel like I could have like a whole like fire performers, dancers, and all kind of craziness, but like an actual show. Yeah. And yeah, like I feel like I can put an event together. I've been doing events for like
ever
since I graduated high school.
That's an event.
Yeah, I know what sounds, and in being a street performer, I know what sounds people like. I know people like when I play fast and old school and all that kind of stuff. So I can just incorporate everything what people like into one whole show, and what I like as well. Because and that's another thing about being an artist, also doing what you like as well. Because when you're trying to always please other people, you burn out easily, very easily.
Very true.
Mm-hmm. But long-term goals, I would say having my own band and being more independent, as far as probably having my own studio, and just having my own like business, like having it as a business. Like sometimes I'll go to different events and I'll be advertising like the outfits. People send me outfits for their boutiques and things like that, and I'll be representing them and different brands and things like that. So using myself as the as their person to use, their face to use for whatever concept or style or look that they want to go for is very cool too.
So I'm curious to know, I truly love music, and I'm curious to know, what is one of the songs, Joy, that you feel like no matter what, you hear this song, it brings you to a happy place, or if you play it on your violin, or it doesn't matter the genre at all, but like, what are one of those songs for you?
I love playing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. It is so magical. It just so like, I don't know, it like just brings a certain kind of peace to people. And then when people hear it, they're like, wow, that's just so amazing.
Sometimes, if I'm being too forward, am I allowed to ask for a little sample of it today?
Okay.
It definitely, like, I know your time is not free, so.
Yeah, I have to tune my violin a little bit and set it up and get it ready for you.
Thanks. No, we'd love that. So when it comes to, musical artists that you look up to or that helped inspire you, who are some of those artists on that list?
I would say the first violinist that I've actually seen that my violin teacher showed me is Lizzie Sterling. She dances and plays the violin. And when I first saw her, it's like, oh, I don't have to be in the orchestra. I can just do my own thing and, look fabulous with it. So that's how I started, had the idea, the concept in my head of like, oh, I can just do this for myself, Because sometimes with being in the orchestra, you play what they want you to play. You don't really play with what you really like all the time. So, I like to have control over what I like to play.
And is that important? Like I never thought about that being not really an issue, but something that people would contemplate, being in the orchestra versus being like an independent artist. Right.
Oh, well, it depends on preference. Some people really like to play like, in the orchestra. That's what suits them better. But with me, I really like to just go like hop genres. Like I mostly play hip hop and R&B. I used to actually, during like the Nicki Minaj, My Chick Bad era, when I was in middle school, I used to write raps. I used to actually want to be a rapper, but then I took the violin and started playing hip hop beats and stuff like that. So then that's how I kind of just flipped over to that too. So Nicki Minaj is the inspiration too.
Love it. You're just full of surprises, Joy. Well, let everybody know, like, what are some of the things that you have going on right now where people are able to interact with you, all of that?
I'm currently working on an EP, mostly like something that is more so relaxing and calming and something that will bring others peace. And I know it's bringing me peace, like listen to it in the studio back and forth. So hopefully, when I release it, people feel the same way. But other than that, I'm actually, planning my own events and things like that, trying to branch out and do my own thing. And actually, I see myself having my own band, like my own keyboardist, my own drummer, everything like that. I already have my own DJ. And so I'm building up one by one, finding my people in my team, building up as little as I go. So
we were also discussing earlier joyful sound healing music.
Yeah, so I created that during the pandemic, my YouTube channel, Joyful Sound Healing. I have over 8 hours, I would say, of music on there, and you can just find like violin with like rain noises in the background and like different bird noises and like different little things that
shit, like almost every night when I'm going to bed. Like I'm
Mhm.
literally going to subscribe and
Exactly.
Yup.
And I always go to sleep listening to something like that. So that's how I got that. I can do this too.
Oh shoot.
Exactly.
So what inspired you to do that? Because that is very smart to me. And I love to kind of branch tech things as well as musical world in that conversation. And as I said, I don't see a lot of Black people really talk about it, but I do know that I love to listen to sound escapes, like sounds and nature sounds and things of that nature when I'm going to bed, or those 8 hours sleep videos, whatever those videos are. So what gave you that idea to put your sounds to that and put it on YouTube and put that as a way to also generate a brand and income for yourself?
Yeah, so with the sound healing, that's what really helps me with my mental health and to stay calm and peaceful. So I just thought like, I can create this too, because this is what brings me peace. And I don't have to always do, I usually with music and like playing the instrumentals and things like that, I'm really stuck inside that little frame. Yeah. But with sound healing music, I can just, freestyle and do whatever I want. And, people can listen to it and vibe to it. It can create, like a serenity and help people with, anything they're going with, just, breathe to and reflect and live in the moment with.
It does. It truly does. And I'm appreciative for that. And as I'm saying, I'm totally geeked out that knowing, because I always wonder who makes these videos, or like, you're listening to like Tuesday afternoon jazz, and it's a live streaming channel, but I'm like, who really like gave us this? Like, it's like an underrated field. Like I play this stuff all the time on YouTube, and I'm like, who's really behind it? So definitely subscribing and supporting that genre.
Thank you.
Just in terms of healing and sounds, what brought your knowledge onto that? Because I would say music doesn't really teach you that right away, even though you feel good, but you have people that have like their sound bowls and things like. What made you kind of tap into that world and understand like the real education and healing that it does for us?
Well, I always knew, like when I was saying earlier with like playing my violin on the worst days of after school at night, like I always knew that like I would feel a lot better after I played, because I'm putting my attention towards something, music, instead of what's going on in my head. And that would free me from, from whatever is what my mind is saying. And that was really helped me grow as a, on every level, like mentally, spiritually, physically. So, I don't spiral down. It just kept me at a comfortable level of being. So, and that's what really inspired me to, help others too, because you never know what someone is going through. Like I'm the kind of person that it helps me sometimes to talk to people, but then sometimes I want to just be by myself and just listen to music. And that's what really helps me more. Me more, and this really helps me just to listen to sound healing music. So that's something that, be the change that you want to see in the world kind of thing that I always have in my mind.
Facts. Love it. So what is the day in the life of you like? Like, you're my first violinist that I've ever spoken to. Not you're going everyday crazy like Bach or something like that, but like what is it like? Are you do you guys have like places where people go and like link up and like jam out together? Like what's happening in this world?
I'm mostly solo. I'm trying to I'm really like a by myself kind of a person. I'm an Aquarius. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I'm kind of
maybe.
So sometimes I love to collaborate with other producers. I work with a lot of like different multi-platinum Grammy nominated producers and things like that. So creating with others, it can be just as fun, but being by myself, it's just different to create by myself. So I do have my own like home studio, my own laptop keyboard, and I can just create whatever I want to create, do any covers, anything like that. So I always, every week or every other week, I try to record a cover to post on social media. I always keep my whatever I'm doing around social media, my marketing, always keeping that up. Always
a Culture 3 cover coming soon.
Bro,
that's from the Migos.
And also like like my fashion, like always keeping that up. Like I love fashion and makeup and clothes and all that kind of stuff. So I always try to keep, like a piece of me in what I like to do. Like I'm not really like a classical violinist should be wearing all black or anything like that. See, I'm wearing lime green.
Yeah. You're giving me Jamaica, like you're giving me tropics right now. It's a whole lot.
Yeah, so always that's my goal, to always be like different and stand out of the box kind of a thing. So always pushing towards something that's different that you probably wouldn't have seen before, like collaborations that you probably wouldn't have seen before, like even with my melodies playing in hip hop music, like adding melodies and things like that you probably wouldn't hear, or something that you probably couldn't, a music producer couldn't replicate on a keyboard, because sometimes they have keyboard violin, you can't really replicate what you can on the actual violin. So I always have that kind of a benefit, so they'll need me for some stuff. But
I love to talk about stuff like that as well, because like I always let people know, if I could have had a job like that, isn't necessarily as popular as other jobs, I would have been a DJ, right? So listening to music, all the time when I'm listening to songs, I'm like, oh, this would be a good drop here. Oh, the scratch and let fade. I'm always hearing things, right? So for you as a violinist and listening to these hip hop records or these musics, like what is your brain like taking you through, or what are you hearing? What pockets are you hearing that you're like, this is where I will lay a sound, or like this is where I'll construct like.
So with say for instance, I'm playing to a hip hop beat, I'll have the music playing for like as long as I'm just sitting and just meditating to it. I'm eating, I'm just walking around. I'm not even touching my violin yet. It's just playing in the background. Yeah. So I'm just vibing with the music and connecting with it. And then probably later on, then I'll actually play to it and then flow with it, because sometimes I would have, like, if I don't, then it really wouldn't sound that good. It would just be like, I don't know, like on the spot kind of. I can't play on the spot, but like it'll be kind of like, it doesn't really go in depth of how I would like it to be on the spot. But when I really sit down and just actually be creative and just detach and just not look at my phone or anything like that, I'll just be straight, into the music and only that for probably 2 days on one track. Like I'm not really that kind of person, no rush or anything like that. Like, oh, I got to do this in 30 minutes. No, like I take my time, and so I can come up with the best possible.
Love that. So I love food. Food is life for me. Maybe a little bit too much, clearly. But what did you eat today?
It's early, so I when it's early, I'm vegan. I try to practice like a holistic way of living. So in the mornings,
we love it too. Let us know. Put us on. What's going on?
So I have I drink tea every morning, like to wake up in the morning. That's when you eat heavy foods or anything like that, it's harder for the stomach to digest because you're just waking up. So like you have lunch later on in the afternoon, probably like 12 to 3. It's like when you first start your, little a good snack. And then later on, you just have more of a bigger meal. And then at night, you have a bigger meal. And then, and no eating at like 2 hours before bedtime, give your body time to relax and things like that.
That's really good. I've found a new not new, but new love for sea moss. So it's kind of I've kind of been cheating on it with tea. But I mean, like people are like, your skin, whatever. Like right now, I'm not wearing any foundation. Like,
wow, you're glowing.
Thank you. Like literally, it's the sea moss. Like it's doing something inside that I just like, and I feel great, and it's showing. So. Holistic is I'm definitely not at the point Joy is at, but definitely guys, it's always great to like incorporate it in our lives as much as possible. And
it's important to me being a creator as well, but I can't just be stuffing down hot Cheetos or anything like that, because I wouldn't have any energy to create or do anything, because I have to have like oranges and kale and spinach and things like that, because you are what you eat. Yeah. And that's really important. Like the sunlight, spending time in nature, that is so important. you know, to live life the best way possible. Because when you're, you know, eating all these crazy foods, you know, you're probably going to get sick and lower your immune system. You can't do anything. So, you know, that my health is very important to me, especially like when I was in high school, just eating crazy, trying to impress other people.
Yeah.
That's how I learned.
Did you like feel early effects back then when that was happening? Or you're just like, you noticed the difference once you made the change?
Yeah, exactly when I made the change. Like I have like really bad acne and things like that. I'm actually lactose intolerant, so I can't really drink milk, and it'll really
all Black people are, and we're just like lying to ourselves, like, you know, we cannot be with that right now.
Almond milk, oat milk, you know, that's my go-to. So but
not bad. Not bad at all.
And you'd be surprised, like a lot of like cauliflower wings and things like that, they're just, you know, switched from, you know, actual wings. And a lot of meat that you can probably like Beyond Beef tastes like just like, you know, a beef patty. There's like so many different recipes that you can do that you can, you know, make it healthy in your own way, because you know, you don't want to have too much sugar, too much salt in your diet, you know, keeping water in your body, you know, that's just makes a tremendous difference, because you'll be able to manifest more into your life, you know, attract more into your life when you're eating, when you're putting good into your body, you're going to get that good back. And then when you're, you know, putting all these other crazy things in your body, you know, that's exactly why, you know, like, foods are cheaper, the unhealthy foods are cheaper, and then the more expensive foods are, you know, pricey, because, you know, they probably want you to get, you know, the cheaper foods so you can't really manifest what you like to manifest into your life. But then when you're eating, actually I'd rather spend, you know, $50 for you know, a good dinner, you know, for a week or for as long as it lasts me, than a couple bucks for, you know, ramen noodles or whatever.
Seriously.
And I'd rather spend that. Yeah, people say, oh, you know, it's too expensive, but you know what else is expensive? Like a heart transplant, a kidney transplant, and all these surgeries, they cost way more. So I'd rather spend all the money on vegan food than any other thing. So yeah.
You know what? Like, honestly, when I think about it, like, I didn't realize growing up, because my family background was Jamaican, but like a lot of the stuff my mom would cook or what we would eat would be like considered, I guess, what it is, ital. But like, I love me some bok choy or kale cut up and cook up with some saltfish, and you have your fried plant, like all the things, right? And it does get pricey at times, but as you said, it's in the long run, it's cheaper for your life. It's cheaper. It's just
Right.
in a lot of ways. So I Downtown World approves this message.
And it's doing the best you can do, because when I first started being vegan, like I'll slip like, oh, this chicken smells good, I'm gonna just get some. And then over a while, like when you stop eating meat, and then when you taste it again, it tastes horrible. Yeah. You don't want it anymore. So yeah, I can't really eat it if I wanted to.
I would say I'm majority like heading that direction. But I do notice now, like, say, like the other day I was craving some Popeyes. And when I bit into it, like, I don't know why I could just smell and taste the rawness. And I know I'm probably making you just not.
No, that's fine. I can relate.
Right. And I was just like, is this the beginning of the changes for me? Is this what's happening? Because I've really been it's a serious request of mine. I'm not going to lie to myself and say I'm going to start today.
Yeah.
I've really been trying to make a full where you're at.
Yeah, but it's over time, you're gonna stop wanting to feel like the slimy and greasy feeling from eating like a hamburger, cheeseburger sandwich or anything. Like it just you feel way better when you just have like an avocado sandwich or something. Like it's like, oh, I love the earth, I love the world.
It is so true. You're amazing, Joy. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, what is one of like your favorite things to do that people wouldn't necessarily know about you firsthand off, but you're okay with sharing with the world today? Maybe a snack, a movie, something that, you know, people wouldn't expect that from you, but they're like, Joy. Yeah.
I can't dance. Like people don't like it when I dance. Like,
are we talking like what's happening?
Yeah, it's just very awkward, very weird. But I stick to playing the violin. I stick to making the music, not dancing to it. So yeah.
I love it. I'm picturing like I'm going through like a whole scene of like Hitch right now, where Will Smith is trying to teach a guy like how to dance.
Mm-hmm. They're like, "You're Black, you should be able to dance."
Seriously, but no, I won't do that to you. And just for the hair lovers out there, shout outs to my girl Killa. We have another show together, Eat Fruit Pod, and she's into the holistic lifestyle. And you guys have a lot of similarities in common. So I always have to ask people with great skin and great hair, what is something that you do to your hair that just has it looking as gorgeous as it does today? Like, Black girls need to know what's happening.
For this look right here, I used Maiden's Tail shampoo conditioner, and that's like an old school kind of thing. But
I've been hearing about it. Like, it's good.
Yeah, I always kind of keep it old school, but you know, for my curl pattern, I did like Bantu knot outs. After I washed and conditioned my hair and everything like that, as it was wet, I put curl what do you call it? Curl lotion in it, and
curl conditioner. I know you're talking.
Yeah, I do. I put like the Bantu knots in it, and then when it got dry, I just take them out and wave.
Every time I try, you know that like there was a meme where it was like, "What do you think? I guess you're like Bantu knots."
And it'll be wet.
Yeah, like
so many times. Like I'll style my hair 2 days prior, so I know I have plenty of time. Like, or if I really have to go somewhere, the next day I'll probably wash my hair, then I'll blow dry it and I'll do a 2-strand or 3-strand twist to have like a volume. Yeah. And after I blow dry it, and then the next day I'll take it out, and then it'll be a full thing going on.
It looks great. So Joy Black, I would love you to let everyone know where they can find you, where they can support you, and all the things, where you want them to go, where they can subscribe, because I'm definitely doing that.
Okay. Thank you so much. So most of that posts mostly on my Instagram page, and you spell that Black's World, BLACKSWORLD. And I actually use YouTube, so that's Joy Black, my name, Joy, and Black like the color. And in my other YouTube channel is Joyful Sound Healing, and my website is www.joyblackviolinist.com, and then you'll see all my work, my music links and everything is on there. So if you want to simply just go there, and it'll have everything laid out for you there.
I love it. Is the avatar like a violin with the yellow
oh yeah.
And yeah, this is you. Ooh, the blue eyeshadow though. It looks gorgeous. Yeah.
Thank you.
I want to say thank you so much today, Joy, for joining and being a part of the Downtown family. Don't waste no time with negativity. Here at Downtown, we also say eat fruit and mind your business. So we definitely did that, and you're such a joy. So everyone, make sure to support this queen. And in Toronto, we used to have this show. Well, it wasn't really a show, but it was like a booth that was set up. It was called Speaker's Corner. You could go in, put in money in this thing that looked like a payphone booth, and people would go in there, and you could say anything that was on your mind. People would be singing in there, performing, breaking up, making up, crying, the whole works. So we have a segment here at Downtown called Downtown Speaker. So I want you to let anything that's on your mind, on your chest, the PSA. It does not have to be related to anything we spoke about today. And Joy Black, Downtown Speaker. Let's go.
Let me see. I really gotta think about it. There's gonna be a lot on my mind. Let me see.
I love it.
It has to be about I don't know. I can feel good without having to have anything going on. I could, no matter if there's a failure or there's a, good thing or major opportunity coming, I don't have to, you know, feel good or bad about it. I can just enjoy the moment, you know? Yeah, all the time, no matter what's going on, I can just be in the moment and embrace the moment no matter what is coming, because I know for a fact that, you know, no matter what, it's all going to benefit me in the long run if I just go through with it with acceptance and resistance.
Love it.
That's basically been on my mind.
And oh my gosh, I'm gonna kick my own ass. So there's one more standard question that we do ask in Downtown World before I let you go. I am so sorry, but last question is: you have the 5 elements. You have earth, wind, fire, water, and air. No, earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. Right. Which element do you resonate with the most, or you feel like represents you the most, and why?
I would have to say spirit, because, you know, just being free and like, I don't know, just not being attached to anything or any outcomes. Like, that's just my thing. Like I was saying earlier, like when I was just first starting out, like I would be kind of sad that I'll probably miss the opportunity or anything like that. I would just have to embrace it, you know, like I'm not limited to whatever people have to say about me or anything like that. I don't have to look for anybody to discover me, or because when I know myself, that's all that matters.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Perfect way to end it. So guys, once again, this has been Downtown with your girl Kay and the beautiful Joy Black. Please make sure to support this queen. And one more time, you can let them know your social media just so that it's fresh again in everyone's mind.
Okay. So my Instagram is Black's World, BLACKSWORLD. My YouTube, I got 2 YouTube channels. So one is where my music videos and everything are at. So Joy Black. And my other YouTube channel with the sound healing, so with meditation music and with background music and things like that to, you know, sleep with or just meditate to. You can find that at Joyful Sound Healing on YouTube. And I have my my website, www.joyblackviolinist.com, where you can see all my work and everything, bio and everything.
Yes. All right, guys. So that has been our time, and thank you again so much.